some good scotch. Hi guys, it's me, Francis69, coming at you with another little vlog on a very cold night. I'm going to discuss some things tonight, about just general things about the cigar world, and another kind of. This video is going to kind of come on the heels of my last recording that I made last night that didn't get uploaded until this morning due to some problems with my internet here. But first, what are we smoking tonight? My defective box of Perdomo 10th anniversary champagne. What am I drinking? Again, it's Johnny Walker black label, due to the fact that I have a whole decanter of the stuff and I need to consume said decanter before I move on to other bottles that are in my liquor cabinet. So, hold on guys. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I need to touch up this before I dive into my little excerpt for tonight, due to the fact that this thing is not staying very lit. So, let's dive in, shall we? So, coming at the heels of my last video, we talked about a little bit of everything. We talked about politics, we talked about, Churchill and the cigar industry and how essentially a lot of channels on YouTube are being suppressed. And this is no big news. I mean, YouTube is going to do YouTube. It's going to suppress content that is malicious in terms of what they describe as malicious, which is warmongering, tobacco use, those sort of videos. And it's to support their friendly image, which is a bunch of load of crumbs, load of crud. So the one channel I do subscribe to is Cigars Daily. Go subscribe to them after you're done subscribing to me. Cigars Daily does an amazing job of categorizing the cigar world, and they're very much intuitive of what the cigar world is and the industry on a whole. Now, I don't claim to be an expert on the cigar industry. I never have, and I never will. I merely enjoy good cigars, and that means these Perdomos, I think, cost me, I don't remember the price. I think they cost me $190 something a box, maybe $200 a box. So maybe $9-10 a stick. If you want to talk about premium cigars, you're talking about Davidoffs, which cost you, I think I bought 2 sampler boxes of Davidoffs, both, and that cost me, I think per cigar is like $22. It is ridiculously priced in terms of its amount of money. Trying to shift my camera to get in my drink. Because I use my left hand. Because I got this one a little bit preoccupied. That could have ended disastrously. Anyway. So you know what? Let's talk about a little bit about something that's kind of interesting. Global warming and nuclear reactors. So here in California, I've read a little bit. I haven't read a lot, but by my count, there is one nuclear reactor in the entirety of California. After the disaster at Chernobyl and the 3 Mile Island incident here in the United States, the American public became very opposed to nuclear energy. They thought it was very dangerous, which in the wrong hands, like Anatoly Dyatlov and the Russian state, or the Soviet state, can be very, very dangerous. I mean, in terms of Chernobyl, it's a level 7 on the disaster scale. It's a major incident, and it will continue to be radioactive long after I'm pushing up daisies. Long after a lot of my generation is pushing up daisies. But the reason I bring up global warming in that respective is, as an independent and as a person who has for the last 10 years been between a Democrat, a Republican, both camps. The last couple of years I've been an independent, but for the majority of the time I was a Democrat. I believe in climate change. Every scientist in their right mind believes in climate change, unless they're to the right, which the right just believes that it's a bunch of bull honky. How we go about combating climate change is the factor. Yes, climate change is a thing, but how we go about it is really interesting and really frightening, because the conservatives don't want to believe it because they don't want to get rid of their gas vehicles. I have a truck. I run a gas vehicle. And I have no intention of getting an electric truck because I don't trust Tesla. I don't like Tesla vehicles. I own a truck that runs on gasoline. I have no intention of getting a vehicle powered by electricity, in terms of that takes it as its fuel, right? In the near future. Because of the way the infrastructure is around here. There's no charging stations. There are very few charging stations, and I'd have to go out of my way to get to one. Gas stations are so plentiful around here. Why? Because it's been the majority, it's been the industry standard for over 100 years, right? Since Henry Ford and Standard Oil and all these other companies who basically made the petroleum industry what it is today. And yes, there are various things that have problems with the petroleum industry, but look at it like this. Solar and wind are not going to cut it. Nuclear is where you're going to make your power. Nuclear energy is efficient. It dwarfs coal, natural gas, all those other energies in their production. The United States has I just Googled this. I can't remember it. It's like, I want to say, it's not many. I think it's in the high 30s or something like that. I don't remember. But France, in contrast, has 53 nuclear reactors. And as I remember correctly, France, the majority of their industry, the majority of their power comes from nuclear energy. Now, Chernobyl is a worse example. It's a worst case scenario. Anatoly Dyatlov, who was in the room that night, basically forced the test. He could have said, as soon as the reactor stalled, he should have said, forget it. Let's just shut it down, wait 24 hours for the xenon to deteriorate so that they could gradually bring it up. But instead, you can look up the details. I'm probably not doing it justice because I'm drinking and smoking at the same time, which usually gets me a little bit more animated, and I'm able to, I usually misconstrued facts, so I don't want to eat my own words there. But Anatoly Dyatlov was in the room, he was in control, and and basically caused the explosion in the short term. In the long term, it was the Soviet state who was directly responsible for the events that happened at Chernobyl. The reason I got so enamored about Chernobyl and nuclear energy was the show Chernobyl, which catalogs Dyatlov, um, Legasov, um, Leonid Toptonov, which I have a really sorrow for Leonid Toptonov. He was only a couple years older than I am now, and he was in charge of a nuclear reactor. In charge of pulling the control rods. So, definitely something interesting. But to conclude, my point is that climate change is here, whether we like it or not. For this country and the Western world to thrive, we must think about recommissioning and building safe, efficient energy, whether that's through solar, wind, and nuclear energy. We have to rebrand nuclear energy in order to sell it to the people. And I'm not invested in nuclear. I wish I was, because I would probably be a millionaire right now. I am not. I am making a living. I'm going to have a serious word with Perdomo. Oh my gosh, this is so terrible. I have to keep relighting. And you think I might be puffing on too much, I know. So, anyway. What was I going to do? Let's discuss energy, climate change. Right. Go watch Chernobyl if you haven't. If you haven't watched it and don't have an HBO subscription, just get I think they still have a 30-day free trial. Get your 30-day free trial. Go on do it on a weekend, do it on a Friday. Do it on a Friday night. Get it Friday. And then when you get off of work on a Friday, assuming you don't have anything else, planned for the weekend, binge Chernobyl and what else you want on HBO. And just watch it. It's very informative. Take it with a grain of salt. Do some research if you're, really interested in it. But take it with a grain of salt, right? Anyway, so I will not be releasing. Previously, I released a little epilogue video that released first. It was supposed to come after the video about kind of take my words with a grain of salt in that video, because I was kind of in and out in terms of political spectrum. Now I think we're gonna sort of shift. This won't be the predominant feel of most of my videos, but we gotta address it. If not now, when? We're in 2023, folks. Climate change is coming, whether we like it or not. And the conservatives need to wake up the fact there is such a thing as climate change, and the Dems need to drag their heads out of their rear ends and realize that solar and wind ain't gonna cut it. And I am tired of paying at the pump every single time I go to gas up my freaking trunk. It is amazingly expensive. I paid $5 a gallon yesterday for premium gas. With cash to boot. Cash. Not card, not, some credit card. Cold, hard currency. I paid $5 a gallon. $5. I know back east, wherever they're paying a lot more than we are here on the West Coast. But it is absurd. It cost me $70 to fill up my tank. At the beginning, when I bought my truck, it cost me $50 to fill it up. It's been fluctuating here and there. But the gas prices are so bad. I watched them skyrocket when Biden took office. And I'm not going to talk about prisons. Besides, I'm not going to rail against Trump, even though I kind of railed against him a little bit on the last video. I'm not going to do that kind of video. That is for someone much more intelligent and much more in the scheme of things, not in the scheme of things, in the loop to discuss. Because I have been kind of out of the loop. I have not been paying much attention to global politics as much as I should. Now, you might think it hypocritical of me to kind of say these words and I'm not, involved. But it does come from a perspective. I mean, around here, we've got trees, greenery. I mean, it's so beautiful up here. It's absolutely gorgeous up here. I remember taking trips to Bernie, to the coast, and all you just see is these beautiful forests. It's really, really interesting. And I'll leave this one more segment, and then we'll be done, and then you guys can get back to your lives. Clear cuts, logging industry. All right. I've had multiple discussions with my father, who's a pretty hardcore conservative. But when it comes to the logging industry, there's a difference. So when they do logging, they do clear cuts or selective cutting. You do more damage when you selective cut than you do clearing. I don't care what you do, but clear cutting is the only way to do things. You damage more trees doing. It is so expensive just to do the selective. And that's not how we're going to fly. You want to build a house? Fine. But don't make me pay, hundreds of dollars for just lumber. Wood. Wood, ladies and gentlemen. Wood. Forget it. Anyway. The reason I bring that up is because when you're traveling, at least down to the coast and toward Hyam Palm and Junction City, you can just see clear cuts. And up here in Northern California, you've got the fires and whatnot, and that's because we haven't been managing our forests, haven't been doing the clear cuts, haven't been doing the selective cuts. We haven't been managing them because it's the natural way. Yeah, you want to talk about natural, about deaths of firefighters and civilians and loss of homes. There are those freak events like those in Paradise and the other fires that have destroyed communities, but you don't get them very often. So I'll leave you guys with that thought. Just kind of think. I'm not preaching at you. I'm not telling you to take up the causes that I take. You can take whatever stance you want. It's a free country. As long as it's not against the law, you can do pretty much whatever you want. As long as it's within the bounds of the law, you can pretty much do whatever you want. As long as you're not breaking the law, I don't really care. You want to do weed? Go ahead. You want to smoke cigars? Go ahead. You want to smoke cigarettes? Go ahead. You want to get drunk off your ass and die of alcoholism? Go ahead. It is legal in this country. Anyway, guys, hopefully you guys enjoy your evening, and I will see you in the next one. This is Francis69, signing off for now.